and balanced. The DBS Morning News starts right now.
This morning's headlines: Prime Minister Roosevelt Scary tells Dominicans to reject a decision by the UWP to go to court to challenge the Citizenship by Investment program. St. Vincent and the Grenadines reporting success with housing repair program since the passage of Hurricane Beryl. And Gaza's Hamas-run civil defense agency says Israeli strikes have accounted for 30 more deaths in northern Gaza. This is the DBS Morning News. The details right after this.
DBS Radio on the go. www.dbcradio.net. Click the play button at the top and you're good to go with the nation station DBS Radio.
Yo, what's up?
Baby, let's go!
Turn your TV on. Listen to DBS on Digital TV Channel 50 and Flow TV Channel 951.
DBS News.
Welcome back to the DBS Major Morning News. My name is Curtis Matthew. Here we go with our lead story. Dominicans have been encouraged to reject a decision by the UWP to go to court to challenge the Citizenship by Investment program, the CBI. Prime Minister Roosevelt Scary told the signing ceremony for the expansion of the Colliho Riverwall project on Friday that the UWP action in court could undermine the program which has financed the Yes We Care and NEP.
When COVID came, it affected every family in Dominica. When Hurricane Maria came, it affected every family in Dominica. And so whatever happens to Dominica will impact every one of us in Dominica. And what the United Workers' Party is seeking to do, seeking to destroy the CBI, is something that every right, conscious, God-fearing Dominican should condemn, and condemn very strongly. Because what this means, if these guys were to be successful with what they're seeking to do to end the CBI, it will have a serious negative impact on the way of life of every single citizen in Dominica. In the last 5 years, we spent $298 million. $298 million on the NEP program. Monies that we've put in the pockets of people under the NEP program. And because the NEP is fully funded by the CBI. Likewise, the Yes We Care program.
And that's Prime Minister Roosevelt Scary. The UWP has said the decision to go to court is not meant to stop the program, but for government to be more transparent with the CBI program.
Là nous ka accepter créole, nous ka gêne la vie racine nous et puis tradition nous. Ça veut dire créole ka coulé en sang nous. Nos villages nous, had nous, manger nous et puis expression nous. Savon paille et puis la poète, tête cassée et puis robe douillette, tonton et puis pépé. Et puis même si ou chebe au soukouyan, eh ben même si ou ni soulier à talon, nous c'est créole et puis créole c'est nous.
And that's 17-year-old Haitian national Rodeline Desimond of St. Martin Secondary School as she emerged the winner of the inaugural DBS Independence Creole Speech Contest. She won the title at Alliance Française, beating 4 other competitors on Friday. Shanika Alexander of PHL Secondary School placed second, and Dominica Grammar School student Lydia Charles was in third place. The winning student, Rodeline Desimond, said she entered the contest confident she could have won.
It wasn't easy for the preparation, but we made it. You must take your time and you must be confident.
When you were first told about this competition, what was your reaction like? What did you say?
When I first hear about that, I say, Rodeline, you go in and win this. It went very good, even though I didn't finish say all I have to say, but I did very good.
Were you confident that you were going to win the competition? Having heard everybody, were you very confident that you would have won?
Yes, I still think I'm going to win because I am very confident in myself.
Now, what do you think this competition will do for the students in Dominica?
So it will encourage them to learn Creole more, and not for the old people alone, but for all of us that live in Dominica. It will help them to learn more Creole so that they can understand each other when they are speaking.
And finally, do you think there is enough Creole speaking in Dominica among the young people?
I like to see everybody that lives in Dominica to speak Creole and to understand it too. Because some people, they just speak Creole, but they don't really understand it.
And that's the winner of the DBS Independence Creole Speech Competition, Rodnaline Desimond. Head of the Language Department of DBS Radio, Kewana Fountain Wilson, said the competition served as a vehicle to help sustain the Creole culture.
Today marks a historic moment for DBS Radio and for our cultural identity. Through this competition, we aim to showcase the talents of our young ones, the students, the future of Dominica, to highlight the importance of embracing, teaching, and speaking Creole. That's our theme. The Creole language is not our enemy. Embrace it, teach it, speak it. And this echoes our collective responsibility as Dominicans to preserve this integral part of who we are as a people, the language that we speak. We believe it is essential to instill the pride and joy in our youth because they are the future custodians of our language. By engaging our students here today in events like this, we are helping them understand that Creole is not just a language that we spoke in the past, but it's a living and breathing part of our society.
And that's the head of the DBS Radio Language Department, Kewana Fountain Wilson. Meanwhile, the chairman of the board of directors of DBS Radio, Dr. Damien Dublin, said national broadcaster DBS will continue to promote the Creole culture. He has endorsed the Creole speech competition.
I'm happy with the participation of the schools. Hoping next year we could have much more schools. DBS, when you hear DBS, you always think of Creole. Since 1941 with Jeff Charles, Dennis Joseph, all these people, Felix Henderson, the DBS as the Creole station has done it in verbal, written form, and through music. And you think of Wadix with his program every Friday and Saturday. We just know DBS. When you think of Creole, you think of DBS. So it's just fitting that this activity has to be organized by DBS. So let me thank the Creole department. The Creole department is an interesting department. When you hear the news in English, you hear it in Creole, you hear it in French, you hear it in Spanish. I'm hoping that we'll hear it in Kokoy. So that's a homework for the department, and in the Kalinago language to just round it up.
And that's the chairman of the board of directors of DBS Radio, Dr. Damien Dublin. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit says the construction of the Collihole River Wall will increase safety for residents in times of natural disasters. His remarks as government signed a contract for the construction of the Collihole River Wall during a ceremony on Friday.
I know we have done many sections of the wall over the last years post-Maria, and we recognize that in the last system we had, it compromised eventually that section in the vicinity of Zetma's shop, and therefore we have decided to come here in quick fashion to have this section done. I also know that we have to do some work in the vicinity of Pastor's house, and I think that's the next step we will come back to do once that section by Zetma is completed. We have decided to give priority to that section because it takes from the top of the community and come down, and so once that is done, we will come back to do that final phase to complete the safety of the residents of the village of Collihole. And if you realize, since we came into government, we've almost had to build sea defense walls from Scottshead to Capuchin because the sea is coming more and more into land. And you also recognize that rivers which never overflow in the banks, when it rains, it affects it.
And that's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. Meanwhile, Minister for Public Works Fidel Grant says the contract for the project is awarded to a local contractor in the value of just under $1 million.
This river defense wall is more than brick and mortar. It is an investment in building resilience, protecting lives and protecting property, as well as your livelihoods. But we in this Labour Party administration, we understand what it takes. You, the people of Colyho, understand that this restoration of this wall will make you feel safe when it rains. The fear of your land or your home being washed away is no more. You will feel safe and more confident when you drive and sleep in your homes. This project is awarded to a local contractor, Mr. Monson Rudet. It is in the amount of $897,669.30. We anticipate once the weather holds up and all else is in order, work should be completed within 90 days. The work entails the preparation of the construction site, including river works, demolition of the existing 70-meter long by 4.5 meters high stone rubber wall, and the construction of a new 70-meter long, 4.5 meters high reinforced concrete wall which will be replaced the damaged wall. This intervention will secure the embankment and protect the village from future flood and related risks.
And that's the Minister for Public Works, Fidel Grant. Here now is the parliamentary representative for the Colyho constituency, Darren Pinard.
Here in Colyho, during the passage of Tropical Storm Erica and Hurricane Maria, we experienced flooding to a majority of homes in the village basin. Some homes were destroyed beyond repair. A 2-story concrete structure was catapulted into the riverbed. Another 2-story structure that lay directly behind it disappeared, never to be seen again. And it is for these reasons the government undertook the construction of Phase 1 of the river defense wall. Admittedly, Phase 1 has served us remarkably well thus far. The wall was very well constructed and subsequently provided good protection from the raging river, thanks to the incredible work done by the contractor Monson Rudet. And he was a subcontractor, I might add, in that case. And it is for the excellent work that he did in Phase 1 that he is now contracted as the main contractor for the continuing phase.
And that's the parliamentary representative for the Colyho constituency, Darren Pinard. CARICOM Youth Farmer of the Year, 27-year-old Kevon Vidal of Salisbury has received an incentive of $2,500 from the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, ICA. The check was presented to Mr. Vidal during a ceremony at the offices of ICA on Friday.
I mean, such an award, it shows the dedication, the drive, the tenacity that's needed to move the agricultural sector within the region. First of all, I think you're an inspiration for youth around the region to indicate that agriculture is a career that can be rewarded and they can create a life from it. Secondly, you are, without a doubt, you represent the future generations of agriculture, those who will use sustainable practices and incorporate modern technologies going forward. And most importantly, I think maybe you don't even know that, but you are now an advocate for food security, utilizing your strengths in building community and looking at using techniques where you can increase agricultural resilience going forward. As ICA, I think as an institute, we will continue to support young people like Kevon because we understand the importance of youth in agriculture. We'll do it through capacity building, innovation-based solutions, and technical support.
And that's the technical specialist of ICA, Anthony Cyril. Meanwhile, Mr. Vidal says the Caribbean Youth Award will serve as inspiration to his agricultural career.
I would just like to say a special thank you to the Ministry of Agriculture, ICA, and all those in support of me. So I just would like to say today, thank you, heartfelt thank you to ICA. That will be a big step, a big push to enhance production. So I want to just say thank you. Well, on my farm is a variety of different stuff. Yeah, I do small bit of livestock, but I'm a more or less crop farmer. A lot of pumpkins, cucumbers, tomatoes, watermelons, tree crops, root crops at times. Yeah, there's a variety of different crops and operations.
And that's the CARICOM Youth Farmer of the Year for 2024, Kevin Vidal of Salisbury. He received the regional award during the Caribbean Week of Agriculture in St. Vincent last week. November 9 is the date set aside for the groundbreaking ceremony for the International Airport Development Project. The announcement came from Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit on Friday.
We're building an international airport. And by the way, I'm inviting everybody to the official groundbreaking on November 9, 2024. You know, and I decided to delay the ground because, you know, groundbreaking is supposed to be done before you start work. But I felt that since Libla time, as a matter of fact, since Barron time, because Barron was the chief minister before Libla, they've talked about the international airport. And every government in the history of Dominica, both pre and post independence, have made an international airport the center of the development plan. And so Dominicans were wary of politicians and governments and parties, and rightly so, who said they would build an airport, an international airport. And I say, people will have hesitation. It's a look on brick gongs. Let's start. Let us bring it to a point where you can see the runway. You can see the alignment of the runway. And so we're inviting all Dominicans. This is a national project. And just imagine what is happening by way of night landing, by way of the extension of the runway at Douglas Charles. Just imagine what the international airport will bring to Dominica.
And that's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. The government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is reporting major success with its housing repair program since the passage of Hurricane Beryl 3 months ago. The government says it has continued to implement an ambitious program, having repaired 1,116 houses with sustained level 1 and 2 damage. Government added that this has been done through either the ministry or through the self-help, where some homeowners opted to receive materials and or labor through the ministry. Finally, this morning, Gaza's Hamas-run Civil Defense Agency says 30 people have been killed in Israeli strikes in northern Gaza Strip. The Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry estimates that at least 42,175 people in Gaza have been killed since October 7 last year. Meanwhile, world leaders have condemned attacks on UN peacekeepers by Israeli forces in southern Lebanon after a second incident in 48 hours. It is 18 minutes now after 7 o'clock. That's how we'll end news. The sports report comes up shortly.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
One easy loan.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
To upgrade my phone and even my home with one simple loan.
More money.
To have your wedding, to go traveling, to do anything.
More money.
No security. Speed the delivery, just check NBT. Apply anytime. In branch or line, it's more money time.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
No collateral.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
Speedy delivery.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
Just check NBT.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
Let's begin the DBS Morning Sports Report with football news. Roosevelt Skerrit Bombers will be gunning for all 3 points this afternoon as they look to avoid the dreaded relegation zone as the DFA Premier League continues this afternoon. The Bombers are currently sitting in 8th place on the points table on 15 points, 4 points ahead of last place Bath Estate with 4 games left in the season. The Bombers, they will be up against Connect 767 Courts Ready Cash East Central at 6:30 this evening at the DFA Technical Center. East Central are 6th on the points table on 17 points. Meanwhile, Valvoline United can go level on points with league leaders Central Cooperative Credit Union Jubla FC with a win tomorrow. We United sits second with 28 points and are 3 points behind the defending champions. They will be up against 3rd place Tranquility Beach Milham United at 4 p.m. on Sunday. At 6:30, Laura Dorset Bath Estate will be in desperate search of 3 points to climb out of last place when they take on the former champs Sajiko Southeast. Some cricket news now. The West Indies head coach Darren Sammy says the upcoming tour with Sri Lanka will help test the depth of the West Indies team as they get set for the next T20 World Cup. The West Indies will play Sri Lanka in the first T20 tomorrow. Sammy says he has confidence in the players.
Yeah, well, if you notice, we are trying the depth of our squad. We're giving some guys some opportunities with the World Cup coming up in less than 20 months. With some of our senior players, being unavailable, I'm looking to see how far, how great our depth could be. Obviously, the main purpose is to win series. We've been doing well so far, and giving guys opportunities to like you said, to help build and develop. So I'm really excited. Sri Lanka is a young team since Jayasuriya took over. There's been a new energy and confidence in that team. So it would be a good series for us and a good tester for us to see where we are in the depth that we have in the Caribbean. This series, although it's short, only 3 games, but it gives them the opportunity to see and have a taste of the international flavor of cricket. So hopefully when the opportunity comes, we could judge where they are. But I have full confidence from what I've seen, what I saw in the Caribbean Premier League, the skill set, the temperament they've shown already. That's why they are here with us, and I'm looking forward to what they could do on the international scene.
And that's the West Indies head coach, Darren Sammy. Well, the first T20 gets underway tomorrow at 9:30 in the morning, Caribbean time. Veteran cricket commentator Joseph Reds Pereira has taken issue with the white ball teams announced for the upcoming tour against Sri Lanka. Head coach Darren Sammy, who now leads the selection under the revamped selection system, noted the importance of the series in evaluating players for key roles and understanding the conditions ahead of the future ICC tournaments. However, Pereira is calling for an explanation for players named in the squad. He says there are 4 changes he would have made to the T20 squad.
In the T20 squad, young Barbadian left-arm medium fast Ramon Simmons maybe should have been in place of Hines, who has played the 4-ball game for Trinidad and TKR. Hines is 32, Simmons is just about 20, and I would think the long-term interest is for someone like Simmons. In the T20 squad, Shakir Paris, who played for the Royals, to me looks a better investment than Evan Lewis in the T20. The ODI squad, I have one change, Justin Graves in for Matthew Ford. Justin Graves has proved his ability. Matthew Ford, I think, is more of a T20 player and not an ODI player. But it will be good, maybe, if the West Indies board can arrange a press conference so some questions could be asked to Darren Sammy, who can point out why the selections have been made.
Veteran cricket commentator Joseph Reds Pereira. Let's stay with cricket news. Cricket West Indies Director of Cricket Miles Bascom has confirmed that West Indies players can now be selected to play in any format, tests, T20s or one-day internationals, even if they do not play in the corresponding domestic format. Previously, West Indies players were not selected if they did not play in the domestic competitions. Players have expressed interest to play in tests, but because of the schedule of cricket, it was not possible for them to return to the Caribbean to play first-class cricket. Bascom says that the Cricket West Indies CWI are aware of the packed cricket schedule and that the old policy could not stand up to the current intensity of cricket schedules. This development means that players like Shea Hope, Brandon King and Nicholas Pooran, once they declare themselves available, can be selected by head coach Andre Kohli for the test series against Bangladesh. The Dominica Cycling Association will host the first in a series of grassroots developmental programs today. President of the Dominica Cycling Association, Ronald Charles, says the programs are geared at ensuring the sport has a foundation to identify the next elite rider.
The Dominica Cycling Association, as part of its solidarity program, or we could say our grassroots program, is to try to encourage a lot of young people, both male and female, to get involved in cycling. We believe that cycling is the next future sport in the world. And we believe cycling brings a lot to the table: fitness, health, but more importantly, a sense of belonging. And we want to continue to encourage young people to be part of it. Tomorrow we have an event where we're going to invite persons who may just be interested in cycling. If you're interested in cycling, you come across at the DOC from about 3 p.m. tomorrow, Saturday the 12th. And we're going to talk cycling. We're going to, there are persons who may just want to learn to ride. There are persons who just want to be a casual rider. So and there are persons who want to be on the big stage. And we're trying to accommodate all of this.
And that's the president of the Dominica Cycling Association, Ronald Charles. Some cricket news. Pakistan's captain Shan Masood says it's tough to be on the wrong side of history following the team's defeat to England in the first test match on Friday. Pakistan became the first team in test cricket history to lose a test match by an innings after scoring over 500 runs in the first innings. Masood says it was a disappointing effort.
Amiz bhai, look, we've spoken about the third innings or the fourth innings, but I think it's, at the end of the day, it's a team game, and everything has its advantages and repercussions as a team. When you put 556 on the board, I think it's very important to back that up with 10 wickets and keep the game close. And I thought that's something we didn't do. Because if we take those 10 wickets and have England around our score, maybe a bit more, then these 214, 220 runs on a fifth day become challenging. So again, that's the key, to work it out as a team. How can the batting and bowling in the first innings contribute to a lead, and then hopefully setting the match up? And that's something we're struggling with. We're getting into good positions. You ask your batting side to put up a good score in the first innings, and the onus on us now is to set the game up well so we can finish it off.
And that's the Pakistani captain Shan Masood. England declared at 823 for 7 and bowled out Pakistan for 220 to win by an innings and 47 runs. Meantime, England's captain Oli Pope says while credit must go to Harry Brooks and Joe Root for their performances with the bat, the bowlers were outstanding.
Yeah, absolutely. I think credit to firstly the bowlers, the way they went about their stuff on day one and the majority of day two. I think the fitness that they showed, and then the same with Harry Brook and Joe Root. I think we knew the way to win this game was to put a mammoth score on the board, and it wasn't just 100. Obviously, it was 260 and 315 or whatever. So I think that's just credit to them for obviously the skills that they've got with the bat, but the determination they had to put the team in a winning position. So it was awesome. When you bat for and make 550, you kind of think you're probably in the driving seat there. But obviously when you come out to bat again and you're 260 runs behind and the pitch is 3 days older than it was when you first batted, I think it's never an easy thing to do. We felt like we had a lot of different wicket taking opportunities. The odd ball was staying low, we got the ball reversing a little bit, and then we got the odd ball to spin as well. So I think it's never an easy position to be in when you're 260 runs behind, and even if you bat as well as you can and make 400 in that last innings, then we still would have tried to back ourselves and chase 140 or so.
And that's the England captain, Ollie Pope. The question is, how do you score 500 over 500 runs in a test innings and you lose? Well, Pakistan, they have questions to ask themselves. Finally, this morning, Special Olympics Dominica will stage its annual games in November. Special Olympics Director Ainsworth Irish says this year's games will be held at Lindo Park in Goodwill. Over 30 athletes are down to take part in the event.
Oh yes, actually the National Games, our 25th Special Olympics National Games will be held on November 17th at Lindo Park. This is the first time we'll be trying out Lindo Park. We've been having it over the years at the Botanic Gardens. And of course we expect some 35 athletes from Portsmouth, Roseau catchment area, the Carinago territory, and our coaches and of course the parents to attend. So it's November 17, 2024 from 10 a.m. We'll start at the Lindo Park with a little match with our torch, and then we expect the police, if they can, to come, about 5 or 10 police officers to join us on the little run from the bottom of Federation Drive into Lindo Park. And of course the PAL rep and the Miss Blanchard, we expect her to give some brief remarks, and also the DOC president, Mr. Billy Doctrove. And we're still looking for our celebrity to declare the games open. So in a nutshell, I can tell you, Special Olympics are alive and well. And of course, on November 7th, some 2 athletes will be going to Trinidad to take part in the beach bocce tournament, including a coach and a head of delegation.
And that's the Special Olympics Director, Ainsworth Irish. Well, that too will settle it on the DBS Morning News and Sports. Let's remind you, 9:30 this morning, the Connecting the Dots program on DBS Radio. The Connecting the Dots program will bring together Ivona John Baptist Luge and Nigel Francis. Ivona John Baptist Luge, by the way, is back with a bang as program director. She was on vacation for well over 2 months. She's returned. Ivona is now running all over the place with a lot of energy. We wish Ivona well as she returns to work here at DBS. Well, let's see who she will interview this morning. Well, the Dominica Seafocal Alumni Association, the White Sunset Charity event and more. That is what they will focus on this morning. Who do they have? Mrs. Joseph Turner. They also have Glenda Philbert McIntyre. They also have Dr. Kevin Laura. What a program this morning. Ivona John Baptist Luge and Nigel Francis connecting the dots. 9:30 this morning. Joseph Fadul, again, thank you very much for all week assisting the news department to navigate through all the difficulties, and you've performed again a very great task this week assisting the news department. We thank you again for continuing to at least work with the news department throughout the week. That too will end news and sports. Another major newscast at 1:15 on behalf of the news and sports department and our link person Joseph Fadul, Curtis Matthew saying good morning, do have a great weekend.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe, and Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins, and bidets. PVC piping, fittings, and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
One easy loan.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
To upgrade my phone and even my home with one simple loan.
More money.
To have your wedding, to go traveling, to do anything.
More money.
No security. Speedy delivery, just check NBT. Apply anytime. In branch online, it's more money time.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
No collateral.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
Speedy delivery.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
Just check NBT.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
.36 the morning time on DBS Radio. Let's now bring you the insert of the package. This morning's insert of the package is brought to you compliments of our very good friends at A&A Low Price Center.
A&A Low Price Center in the village of Calabishi offers the best prices for the freshest products ever. One-stop convenient shopping at A&A Low Price Center in Calabishi. For your foods, your everyday needs, snacks, liquor, dry goods, and more. Just about everything located in the flat of Calabishi, directly in the center of the village. Come to A&A Low Price Center on the highway in Calabishi. A&A Low Price Center is family owned and operated. It is fully computerized, VAT compliant, low toll, credit card and top-up capabilities. Stop at A&A Low Price Center in Calabishi today or call 445-7655. Drop us an email at aanalowprice@gmail.com. A&A Low Price Center in Calabishi open 7 days a week, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit us today. Just walk in and be happy you did.
Nous ka accepter créole, nous ka gêne la vie racine nous et puis tradition nous. Ça veut dire créole ka coulé en de sang nous. Nos villages nous, had nous, manger nous et puis expression nous. Savane paille et puis la poète. Tête cassée et puis robe douillette. Tonton et puis pépé. Et puis même si ou chebe au soukouya, et bien même si ou ni soulier à talon, nous c'est créole et puis créole c'est nous.
Well, that was 17-year-old Haitian national Runelind Desimond of the St. Martin's Secondary School. She emerged the winner of the first ever, the inaugural DBS Radio Independence Creole Speech Competition. That competition took place yesterday. She won the title at the Alliance Française, beating 4 other competitors. Shanika Alexander of the Pierre Charles Secondary School placed second, and the Dominica Grammar School student Lydia Charles placed third. Well, the winning student Rudnelin Desimond said she entered the competition confident that she would have won.
It wasn't easy for the preparation, but we made it. You must take your time and you must be confident.
When you were first told about this competition, what was your reaction like? What did you say?
When I first hear about that, I say, Rudnalin, you go in and win this. It went very good, even though I didn't finish say all I have to say, but I did very good.
Were you confident that you were going to win the competition? Having heard everybody, were you very confident that you would have won?
Yes, I still think I'm going to win because I am very confident in myself.
Now, what do you think this competition will do for the students in Dominica?
So it will encourage them to learn Creole more, and not for the old people alone, but for all of us that live in Dominica. It will help them to learn more Creole so that they can understand each other when they are speaking.
And finally, do you think there is enough Creole speaking in Dominica among the young people?
I like to see everybody that lives in Dominica to speak Creole and to understand it too. Because some people, they just speak Creole but they don't really understand it.
And that was the winner of the first ever DBS Radio Independence Creole Speech Competition, Rudnalyn Desimon of the St. Martin Secondary School. And that was your insert of the package right here on DBS Radio, your nation station. Let's now bring you this morning's edition of the Weather Report on your nation station, DBS Radio. This morning's edition of the Weather Report is brought to you compliments of our good friends at Big Edge and Flow.
Make weather information a part of your daily life. Listen to the Weather Report after the morning news and at 1:10 p.m. daily on DBS Radio. A message from the Dominica Meteorological Service, your trusted source for weather information.
You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many times there'll be trials to face. At least when it comes to your waning finances, you've got the edge. Help is coming your way. You've got Big Edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. Big Edge, the cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in a flash.
And of course, much thanks to the good folks at Big Edge and Flow. We say good morning to Devon Matthew with this morning's edition of the Weather Report on DBS. Devon Matthew, good morning.
Good morning. The weather update from the Dominica Meteorological Service at Douglas Charles Airport for the 12th of October 2024, recorded at 7 a.m. Today's weather is expected to be partly cloudy to cloudy and hazy with scattered showers and a slight chance of isolated thunderstorms. The current conditions at the Douglas Charles Airport are fair with slight dust haze, westerly winds at 3 knots or 6 km per hour. The present temperature 25 degrees Celsius or 77 degrees Fahrenheit. There was no rainfall yesterday and the monthly rainfall so far is 18.3 millimeters. The sun will set today at 5:47 p.m. and rise tomorrow at 5:57 a.m. The high tide today will be at 12:03 p.m. and 11:21 p.m. and the next low tide will be at 4:50 p.m. The weather outlook for Dominica and the Lesser Antilles. A ridge pattern is expected to remain the dominant feature across the area today. Low-level clouds within the wind flow and some weak upper-level activity could generate a few light showers and a slight chance of isolated thunderstorms across the area today. An increase in Saharan dust is expected during the weekend, resulting in a decrease in air quality and visibility. People with respiratory sensitivities are advised to take the necessary precautions to avoid complications. Northeasterly swells are expected to persist along the eastern coastline during the next 24 hours. Slight to moderate seas with swells reaching up to 7 feet are expected. Small craft operators and sea bathers along the northern through eastern coast should exercise caution due to onshore breaking wave action. The synopsis: a high pressure system is the dominant feature. The forecast for today and tonight: partly cloudy to cloudy and hazy with scattered showers and a slight chance of isolated thunderstorms. The winds east-southeasterly to easterly at 15 to 25 km per hour. The sea conditions are expected to be slight to moderate in open water with waves 1 to 2 meters or 3 to 7 feet. A high surf advisory is in effect for the northern through eastern coast. For more information about weather conditions, visit our website at www.weather.gov.dm or call us at 266-4490. For further information, you can find us on Facebook at Dominica Meteorological Service, follow us on Instagram at Dominica Met, or add our WhatsApp channel at 618-3469. Reporting from the Douglas Charles Airport, I am Devon Matthew.
What's on your back-to-school checklist? Fast, reliable internet, a free Chromebook, a smartphone. With Flow, you can check everything off your list. Sign up for broadband and get 25% off Turbo plus 6 months or free Chromebook while stocks last. And if you need a new phone, our postpaid bundles offer smartphones for just $4. Make back to school easy with Flow. Visit discoverflow.co for details.
Welcome to the morning edition of the DBS Radio General Announcements on the Community Bulletin Board. This morning's edition of the General Announcements and what's on your Community Bulletin Board brought to you compliments of our good friends at Valley Engineering.
Stretch your dollar at Valley Engineering. At Valley Engineering, our customers enjoy our dollar stretching price policy. Save money. Valley dollar stretch prices apply to a wide range of